Analysis 2 Strategic Plan Comparison by Ashley Christensen for Case Studies in Human Resources Management. This analysis discusses components from the University of Tennessee's strategic plan that are apparent in the Mayo School of Graduate Medical Education's strategic plan for its trainees. These components are taken from compensation, performance management and professional development, recruitment, and work culture enhancement. Two areas of UT's strategic plan compensation section MSGME can relate to are the Compensation Advisory Board and the Benefits Advisory Group. Similar to UT's Compensation Advisory Board and Compensation Philosophy, MSGME has a committee that meets annually to review the compensation philosophy for its trainees. Compensation for trainees is updated annually, primarily based on benchmark research, as well as internal equity. Trainee compensation is public knowledge on the external website and is also used as a recruitment tool. UT also stated it reestablished a benefits advisory group with representation from across the institution. MSGME has several groups which oversee the primary benefits for the trainees. One of the primary benefits is trip and travel. The trip and travel group decides what type and how many trips trainees are able to take during their program and how much of the trips are reimbursable. Another group that MSGME has regulating a trainee benefit is in relation to leaves of absence. MSGME creates policies on and regulates leaves of absences, including vacation, medical leave, and personal leaves, and how these leaves are compensated, and also how these leaves affect their program length. This is another area that MSGME can relate to. UT accomplished many items that MSGME is currently practicing or has in process. One of these items is competency-based job descriptions with performance and behavioral expectations. Each of our programs has a curriculum provided to trainees listing goals and objectives which are tied to competencies and milestones. MSGME evaluates the curriculum on a cyclical basis and also an as-needed basis. In regard to a performance management process, MSGME regulates programs and has an established schedule for programs to complete trainee evaluations and to provide timely feedback. In regard to recruitment, UT discussed its recruitment strategy and branding efforts. UT implemented an applicant tracking system based on their strategic plan. MSGME currently has an applicant tracking system for its trainees, but is looking at migrating to a new system or adding a new system that would be more inclusive for international medical school graduates to increase recruitment efforts of diverse student population. A cohesive applicant tracking system creates a first impression of the brand that is your business. It is important that as soon as potential candidates see your job posting and decide to apply, a positive and consistent image of the brand is given. It is in UT's plan to redesign new employee orientation and onboarding process. This is something MSGME has done within the past year, and we plan to continually update it based on new trainee feedback. Onboarding is important because, as discussed by Hogan, each year technology advances and a new generation of applicants are joining the workforce. And due to this, MSGME has implemented an employee onboarding system so the new employees have access to provide necessary documentation and fulfill certain requirements in a timely manner prior to starting their job. This onboarding system is the first piece of the complete onboarding package as described by Hogan, is the design of what your employees feel, see, and hear after they have been hired. New employee orientation is a part of onboarding as well as it helps new trainees to understand the specific values our company espouses, which is also discussed by Hogan. MSGME has taken past feedback from new trainees to eliminate portions and update other portions of new employee orientation to relay the most important messages in a fashion that aids in retention and an overall positive onboarding experience. Similar to UT, MSGME has a need to design orientation for the school staff as well. In comparison to UT's statewide Healthy Campus program, MSGME has recently brought in the Trainee Wellbeing Index to address the mental and physical health of our trainees. This is important as it increases awareness of overall employee health. Focusing on the health of your employees creates an environment where employees feel they matter, which enhances the culture of the workplace. An article found in the Harvard Business Review discusses employee wellness programs and how they positively affect the bottom line. Employee wellness not only enhances culture and checks off a box on the HR strategic plan, it affects the organization overall. In summary, Mayo School of Graduate Medical Education has many of the components of the University of Tennessee strategic plan either completed or in process. These components come from compensation, performance management, professional development, recruitment, and work culture enhancement.